Okay, before we talk about how AI works, I want to ask you something. You read the word cat, just you read it. One word, one idea, right? But here's the thing, AI doesn't do that. Like at all, the way you and I do. AI doesn't read the text. And honestly, once you understand what is happening under the hood, it's the kind of change you just see entirely on the systems. Today we are going to talk about tokenization, and I promise at the end of this video you are going to look at AI response very differently. So what even is tokenization? Let me break it down simply. Tokenization is the process of breaking text into smaller pieces before the AI does anything with it. That is, it is a simple version. You type something before the model even start thinking, and it takes your text and chop it up. This chunk is called tokens. Now here is the interesting part. Why does this even need to happen? Why can't the model just read the sentence? Because computer doesn't understand language. I know that sounds weird for AI, but stick with me. Computer only understand numbers. That is all they ever known. So for a model to work with a text, that text needs to be converted into a number, and tokenization step is one of the most and the first conversation. Think of it like this. Imagine you are translating books into a secret code, and your code only has a numbers. First, you need to break the book into a pieces, then replace each pieces with a number. That is basically what is happening here. Okay, so what actually token is? You might be thinking, well, it is probably a word, right? And yeah, something it is, but not always. This is where it gets interesting. Token can be a word, it can be a part of word, it can be a punctuation, like a period or a comma. It can even be a space. The model doesn't see the sentence the way we do, and it sees the stream of tokens. Let me show you with example, because this is the part where it actually clicks. Simple one first. Take the sentence, hello world. That is probably two tokens, hello and world. Easy? Make a sense, two words, two tokens. Totally fine. Now here is more interesting one. The word unbelievable. You might be thinking, okay, one word, one token, but it is not. The model might be split it up like this. Unbelievable. Thus, three tokens, one word, unbelievable. Three separate pieces, and honestly, this makes a sense when you think about how meaning is structured in the language. An is a prefix with it is our meaning, and able is a suffix. The model learns patterns at this level, which is actually really useful. So this brings us to the types of token you will see. These are basically three main categories. First is a full word. It's common every word. Everyday work, it's like the, is, and cat. These are usually their own token. They appear so often in the model has them backed in. And second is subwords. These are a part of words like an, ing, tion, or able. Less common or longer words get broken into the chunks. It's how the model handles new or rare words without completely losing its mind. And the third is punctuation, like periods, commas, question mark. Those are their own token too. Even a simple exclamation mark has its own token. Okay, now here is the important part. Once the text is split into token, each token gets assigned a number. a unique ID. This unique ID is called token ID. So hello might become 9906, world might become 1917. These numbers are what the models actually works with. Text goes in, number comes out. The model does all its thinking in numbers and then convert back to the text at the end. Now, these IDs don't come out of them just from air. The model has something called vocabulary. Think of it like a giant dictionary, a fixed list of all the tokens the model knows. GPT-4, for example, has a vocabulary of around 100,000 tokens. Every possible chunk of this token model can work with in that list. If a word isn't in the vocabulary as a whole word, it gets split into a subword that are. That is the beautiful of this system. It can handle almost anything. So why should you care? Like, why does this matters particularly? Honestly, it matters more than people think. First, cost. Most AI PIs charge you per token, right? Not per word, not per sentence. It is just per token. So if you send a long prompt and it generates a long response, you are paying for every single token in both. Understanding this helps you write more efficient prompt and save money. Second, speed. Processing tokens takes a competition. More token means more work for the model. Shorter is cleaner input in general gives you a faster response. And the third, a context length. Every model has a maximum number of tokens it can hold at a memory at once. You might be hear a phrase like 128K context window. That is 128,000 tokens. That is the limit. If your conversation or a document exceeds that, the model literally cannot see the earlier part anymore. It just forgets them. Here is something that trips people up. Rare words, technical terms, names from the language, really long words. This almost always gets broken into more tokens than you would expect. Like if you write a prompt, a full medical terminology or a code in the obscure programming language, you might be using a way more tokens than a plain English version of the same idea. And that hits your cost, your speed, and your context window all at once. This is one reason why simpler, cleaner language often works better with AI. Not because the AI is smarter with a simple words, but because it is literally more token efficient. So let's zoom out. Here is how it fits all together. When you type a message to an AI, any AI, it doesn't see your words. What happens is your text gets tokenized. Thus tokenized tokens convert to ID or token ID. Those token IDs, those numbers are literally the input to the model. The neural network processes the numbers and does it things and produce the sequence of numbers back. These numbers are decoded back into a token, and a token are assembled back to a text. That is what shows up on your screen. At no point did the model read your sentence the way you would. It never saw the word hello. It saw something like 9906. The whole experience of AI reading and understanding you is built on top of numerical layer that the most people never think about. So next time you open the ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM, start typing. Just remember that's what actually happening in the fraction of a second before the model even start thinking. Your words are being broken apart, tagged with the number, and fed into a system that has never once seen in the world the way you do. It doesn't read, it doesn't hear, it processes the sequence of numbers incredibly fast at a massive scale and produce a sequence of numbers back. And that kind of the wild when you think about it. All of that intelligence, all of the response that you feel so human, they start with this one glamorous step. Before any intelligent, before any answer, everything's become tokens. Okay, if you found this video helpful, or if it clicked that didn't before, please just hit the like button. That genuinely helps this channel to grow. And if you want to learn AI concepts practically, please make sure that you subscribe. I will break down the